to the Break-It Podcast, episode 216.
That's a good number.
You say that every time.
No, that's a good one because 2 plus 1 is 3, and 6 divided by 2 is 3, and it's like 6, and then like adds up nicely.
That's why it's good.
I wouldn't have said that about 213.
No, because that'd be, even though...
2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, I would have said that, but it just doesn't look as good. You're right, I would have said that.
Welcome to the show. It's really good to be here. How you doing, Sarah? Oh no. What's wrong?
Well, I did have to go to the DMV the other day.
I'm so glad you went. I'm so sick of you procrastinating.
Right. Well, no, first of
why.
all, I was not procrastinating. That's how long it took for my appointment.
Oh, that's true. Sorry.
Thank you. For Christ's sake.
You're right. It's terrible.
I got an appointment as soon as I lost it. Well, and
tell them what happened.
For the record, I didn't lose my ID. So I go.
As if that's better than what you're about to tell them.
It's fine. Okay. In California, it is legal to buy marijuana. And so I went to a recreational marijuana place that is totally within the legal...
Is it, Sarah? I don't know.
So I went there, and, you have to show your ID or whatever. They take your ID, and they, photocopy it or whatever. And I forgot to get it back when they, and I wasn't stoned before I went in there, okay? So it's not like that's because she's a pothead. No, I was totally sober, and I forgot it. So I left my ID there.
Wait, so that was an accident part.
That was the accident.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if,
just
they
left
made you
my
do
ID.
that.
Yeah, I was supposed to pick it up. Or maybe they didn't give it to you. They were supposed to hand it back. They were probably stoned. Which is, makes sense now. So they were probably stoned and didn't give it back to me. And so I get my stuff and I leave and no big deal. And then I'm like, dang it, I left my ID there. And I'm like, I'll get it when I go back to school because the place is the only place you can get it
campus.
is... Right, what if? The only place you can get it is in Orange. Orange County doesn't have, they basically in certain cities, they're the only place you're able to have these, dispensary stores.
Uh-huh.
So I go back the next week and I drive by and I go to pull up to the dispensary. Mm-hmm. And there are, no joke, 6 cop cars outside.
I love this story.
And I'm like,
so
what
much.
the fuck? And I'm like, but I got now, the cops see me pull, I got to, commit to pulling in because they're going to be like, what? It's weird if I just slow roll by and then keep driving. They're going to be like, what is she doing? Scoping out the scene, returning the scene to a crime or something. You're going to think I did whatever's going on. So I pull into this center where it is. I guess there were 3 or 4 of these dispensaries in this one center. And I roll down the window, and the cop shines his light in my car. Like, what are you doing here, ma'am?
Okay.
It was nighttime.
Okay.
And I was like, excuse me, I just wanted to know if this business is still open because
I cannot
left
believe
my
you
ID
said this.
because I wanted to tell him what was going on, and I wanted to know if is that still open? And he's like, no, the whole place was shut down, and I was not going to ask any follow-up questions, and so I was like, I wonder if they still have my ID. And I just left. And then I was like, crap, I got to get a new ID now. And so I did.
So you pull up to a raid.
Essentially, I think I did pull up. I didn't even think about that. I probably, it seemed like post-raid.
And then.
Because they were all hanging out outside. It wasn't like they were in their cars,
And then you were like, but I still want to know if I can get my ID.
I didn't ask him about the ID.
That's how bad you don't want to go to the DMV.
Let me tell you. I will never forget my ID anywhere again because do you want to know how long I spent at that DMV? I had an appointment.
Right. Yeah.
I had an appointment at 10 o'clock. I came at 9:45.
Right.
Thinking whatever.
Yeah.
I've done this a million times. It takes 15 minutes 3 hours later, I left the DMV. It took me so long that I started panicking about my dogs who I left inside, and I was like...
In the car?
For Christ's sake, not in the car, Susie.
Oh, in your house.
In my house,
okay.
Yeah. But the door was shut, and I'm like, they're definitely going to go to the bathroom on the carpet. And we've got one rug that's shag, and I think they think it looks like grass, and then when we leave the door closed for too long, Bo...
Payback.
She goes there. Not anymore, though. Just 2 times.
Oh, my God.
So 3.5 hours. But that wasn't my whole point of bringing up the DMV.
Oh.
While I was at the DMV, my phone died, like it does. Because it was, it was 3 hours. So, I was like playing on my phone the whole time and then it died. And like when I still have an hour left in there. So I was watching the DMV television, which was like supposed to be like DMV, like headlines, like, and it said news from the week or like international news stories.
Is it their own channel?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay. But it's like the kind of graphics that were on the news programs in your high school, like the senior
Channel 1.
Yes, this was that. But the thing that was so annoying is that there must have been like somebody programmed it wrong.
Oh wait, you're saying like produced by your high school?
Yes,
yeah,
produced by the high school. Like the graphics are like that swoosh in, like And what would happen is it would scroll through like different pages and it would say international headlines, and then it would say woman, this is no joke, one of them, I wrote it down because I was like, this is crazy. It said, woman marries tree. But then it wouldn't have any other information besides that. It wouldn't tell you anything about the article.
That's bizarre.
It said, I sat there for an hour waiting for like waiting for it to scroll through. The one story it did have was Muhammad Ali. I know all about him. And But so it would do it in categories. It was like woman, first was like international news, woman marries tree. Then it was like culinary news, and it was chefs break world record. Still no idea what world record they broke. And the very last one was sports. But for the sports one, they show a bunch of clips of like, first it's like a basketball player, a football player, all white guys. And I was like, this is subtly racist too. So I have a lot to say about whoever's in charge of the DMV's television programming.
It makes no sense that they're using money to do this.
And the only thing that actually had the article attached to it or any information was the sports one, where it was like sports, white guy, white guy, white guy, and then a story about Muhammad Ali and how
great
Joe Frazier. I know that Joe Frazier was the best fight he ever had because first he lost, then it was a KO, and the third round was a total knockout. See what I learned? Didn't learn anything about women marrying a tree. I still want to know the punchline.
I saw the article. Someone in Brain Candy Crush posted the woman marrying a tree article, which I didn't read, but I do know enough that she married it to save the tree.
I think we did talk about this or something.
She wasn't in love with it or anything. It was somehow...
she wasn't in love with it or anything like that would make it any less or more okay.
Have these stories,
yes. And there's a name for people who are in love with trees.
What is the name?
Oh, okay. It's a real one.
Come up with it.
It's like a...
Leave me at the altar.
In love with tree.
Yeah, her effort was born out of environmentalism, I believe.
Dendrophilia.
Okay. Well, good for her.
Or less often,
that makes more sense.
Arborphilia.
Yeah, like Arbor Day.
Right, but dendrophilia.
I hope they're very happy together.
This says it may involve that tree looks like a phallic symbol.
Wait, so that's why they love it?
That's what this says when I type in tree lover.
I mean, that's really grasping at branches. Okay. Right, we'll be here all week. Oh, well, I'm sorry you had to go to the DMV. I am glad, however, that you will have a license.
And I was so happy they didn't make me take a new picture.
Okay.
I was going to wait for another 3 hours.
Did they ask you if you wanted another?
No. They said, I asked. I said, do I have to take, first question, do I need to take a picture? And she said, no. And I said, thank God, because I was going to tell you, please just give me the temporary and I'll come back to take the photo later.
I'm surprised you had to go back, though, because I lost one once and I just had to send away.
I don't think they do that anymore. And also California, I also found out while watching the DMV news, the one thing that I did, important piece of information, is they're going to require you to have this thing called a real ID to do any domestic travel after 2020. So in the year 2020, we're all going to have these ID cards that are separate than our driver's license cards. And you're going to have to actually go to the DMV to apply for this. And in applying for it, you have to show that you're a legal citizen and you have to do all that. So in order to do any sort of domestic travel, you're going to need this real ID card. So we're going to have to make another trip to the DMV sometime in the next 2 years.
Wow.
And when I went in there, they said, is this for a driver's license or a real ID card? And I was like, well, shit, I should do both. But I was like, I'm not wearing any makeup. I don't want to take a picture.
What? You waited 3 hours And you didn't go ahead and kill 2 birds just because
I didn't know that was an
mascara?
option. You're only supposed to do one. You're only supposed to you check when you make your appointment. How many things are you handling today?
You don't want to screw anything up. I get it.
And after a 3-hour wait, I was like, I don't want to go to back of any lines to tell me there's a form I didn't fill out.
In general, I love avoiding lines, which you can definitely do if you buy your sheets through Brooklinen.
There you go.
And I am a big fan of skipping middlemen because then you can save a bundle. Brooklinen sheets are so nice. Yeah. They're soft, they're luxurious, they have all different patterns. One of my favorite features is that you can mix and match your patterns. Because, let's say you go to wherever you normally go to buy them, and you buy that big bundle. Yeah. But then you're like, I got to get some extra pillowcases so they're not all, freaking floral or whatever pattern. Mm-hmm. And so that you have some different... That Brooklinen lets you avoid that, so you don't have to buy extra stuff. Mm-hmm. I really like that. And since you spend a third of your life on your sheets... They should be... More for me.
So nice.
More for you. More for me. I'm in there by 8 p.m., they are the winner of the best online bedding category of Good Housekeeping as well. It's luxury bedding, but it's underpriced, and I really want you to try them. I also want you to take pictures of them. And when you guys send me the pictures of your beds, I get so excited. It's so cute, and all your pets and stuff. Aww. Brooklinen sheets are the best. They're the most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer for our listeners. You get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code BRAIN at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so confident they'll offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. Oh, that's another thing. They have pillows. They have other stuff, too. Yeah. In fact, I saw they have candles. I'm going to buy some. Oh, really? I'm on a candle kick.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's one burning today in here, too.
I know. I'm in a mood.
Yeah, I like it.
The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code BRAIN at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code BRAIN. Brooklinen. These are the best sheets ever. So no line there. Okay. What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? I already bitched about the DMV.
I haven't watched this documentary yet, but I've read articles addressing the problem with a poo on The Simpsons.
Oh. There's a documentary about it?
Yeah, and I actually think it's called The Problem with a Poo. Oh. And it's made by an Indian woman, or an Indian-American woman, who is unpacking the cultural problems with representing an Indian in a stereotypical way. And
they have not stopped.
Well, that is sort of what the articles I read are about, is how that documentary came out over a year ago. I had never heard of it, which is shocking. But then The Simpsons addressed it in a recent episode and basically were like, who cares? They had Marge reading bedtime story to Lisa. And Lisa's usually
the proud feminist and outspoken and always politically on the our side of things.
And they were reading a story, and they made comments about how something that was created decades ago that was once very acceptable and great and applauded now is culturally insensitive. And then they pan to a picture of a poo on the wall, and it says, "Don't have a cow, man." And Lisa says something else that implies, like, we're going to keep doing this and you should get over it.
Wow, they chose Lisa to say that. That's a statement. That's a statement.
And then
I kind of don't like this.
I don't either. And they've interviewed Hank Azaria about it.
Oh, good.
He's the voice of a poo.
Is he really?
Right.
I knew he did every other voice, but I didn't know he did a poo.
Which is another problem. Here's a white guy doing an impression of what an Indian accent sounds like.
Right.
Okay.
And what do you think Hank Azaria is going to say when he has been employed by The Simpsons for 30 years?
I know. Well, he said he watched the documentary and that he had never been troubled by it until he saw that.
Well, good. That's what documentaries are for.
Yeah. And that he's conflicted about it, basically.
Good.
Yeah. And so I wondered what you thought. I figured I know because we tend to agree on this type of thing. But what is this sense for you about sort of this everything's offensive problem? Where it's like, well, what is funny then? Because we've kind of touched on it with comedy in other ways.
Yeah. this one it's so difficult because
I wouldn't like it if I were Indian. I know that.
No, I wouldn't either.
And if that was a
here's the problem.
thing.
The thing that I feel like the thing that the Simpsons could do that would best even the scales is, why don't you have some more characters that are other roles that are just that are Indian
caricatures.
Yes, that aren't But then the other thing that it's like kind of, it feels almost like the Simpsons are something else besides human. I mean, they're like yellow and have blue hair, but then they made all the other races.
True.
So that's weird.
Yeah, good point.
Because like,
although the Simpsons are American.
Well, right. Yeah. But it's like,
but they're yellow.
But so, so it feels weird when like all the other characters are not, like, don't have blue hair and pink hair or whatever. And they're just like the race that they are. I don't know. I don't even know what my feeling is about this, but it just is interesting that it is, like, now that I think about it.
Yeah, and I want to watch the documentary so that I can have more of a sense for what the argument is.
And it is totally racially insensitive.
Of course,
that
he works at friggin' 7-Eleven.
And the things that he says, and
some people thought that don't have a cow man on an Indian picture is also a problem.
It is.
So it's like
they worship
multi-layered.
Come on.
Right.
That is.
It's just surprising because in certain ways, The Simpsons has such a great grasp of cultural stuff, but in other ways, it's almost like they really don't want to let go of what was funny 30 years ago might not be anymore.
Right.
And I have read some articles by comedians who are like unwilling to evolve.
Uh-huh.
What
if they did an episode, like, what would be cool is if they did an episode where, Apu works at the Quickie Mart, but maybe you have another episode where he also does something else, where, like, show him in his regular life with his family, like, I don't know, winning a Scrabble tournament or something.
You would know better because I don't watch the show, but, like, so they just show him at the Quickie Mart only.
Yeah, and I think he has a lot of kids. I feel like I remember seeing little Indian babies.
My God.
Yeah, like Apu's family is like a silent wife and a lot of kids, and he works at the Quickie Mart. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be in the documentary.
Well, I mean, I'll look into it, but it's food for thought, which I always love. And
he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children.
Oh man! All right. Anyway, though, Lincoln's like he's at that age where he's super into like, technology.
Yeah.
Minecraft. He's like,
oh my God, they love that. They're like building things to build the future of their world.
Like, I try to justify it, like the screen time because whatever, but it's just not great for him to be on there too much. So I'm trying to find ways to like get him to be he can use technology, but not in a consumptive way, in a more like interactive way.
Yeah, totally.
And I found this really cool droid inventor kit that I am so excited to try with him. It's from the company is called Little Bits. Mm-hmm. It's an award-winning platform, and they have easy-to-use electronic building blocks.
Did you say droid inventor kit?
Yeah. So, like, it's a complete droid kit, and then you put it together, but then you can, like, program it. So, like, you can give it its own personality and
oh my God.
skills and, like, customize it. And the kid kind of learns coding from it.
This is the future.
The future is now. And it's Little Bits, and my kid is super excited.
Those are good skills to learn.
Right, and I just feel like, okay, like, you can't avoid technology.
Right.
Like, we're not going to go live on a farm.
For goodness sakes.
So, at least have it be that what you're using and what they're learning is helpful in some way and interactive and all that. And it's super easy. The app that comes with it is self-explanatory. It's not complicated because I'm not a techie person. Like, I don't get that, as you know. And you can do different missions. You can have the droid go around your house and do fun stuff. It's just really fun, and it's something we can do with him too. And that's why I love Little Bits, and you guys should try it too. And I'm so excited because they're giving our listeners a deal on it. And I freaking love it because it's gender neutral, and they want chicks to be into technology too, not just boys, which, STEMinist.
Hello, that's us.
Visit littlebits.com/braincandy and you can get $10 off a Droid Inventor Kit. Get the Toy Association's 2018 Toy of the Year for your kids and inspire invention. I'm freaking in love with it. littlebits.com/braincandy for $10 off a Droid Inventor Kit. I'm going to put a picture of it on my Instagram so you guys can see it too. It's so cute. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about is if you watched Wild Wild Country yet.
Oh, they're octuplets too. That's why.
That's stupid.
Because that's all the story. I think he had a baby at the same time. There was a story about an Indian woman who had the world's record for most children in one pregnancy. I swear to God, I remember this.
Well, I know there was Octomom, but she wasn't.
Right, no, but there was another. This was before. I think this was before this.
Okay.
And that's why they made it like.
To that.
Oh, she has 8 babies. I'm sure it's racially, tied to some,
All right.
It's not good.
I asked if you saw Wild Country yet.
No, what is that?
That's the documentary series on Netflix about the cult.
Oh, no, it's one I told you I wanted to watch, too, right?
Yeah. All right. When you watch it, let me know, because we got to talk about it.
I even told Landon this morning, I'm like, there are so many documentaries I need to watch. Even that, women incarcerated. What is the girls incarcerated?
Yeah,
I have to see that.
Yeah.
What have I been doing?
I wonder that sometimes.
I've been doing home repairs. That's it.
Yes,
that is it. I was like, what am I? Oh, right. I was up to 2 a.m. painting.
Because I know, when you're online and you haven't really been online, and usually that means you're watching something.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird how we know everything about each other.
So fantastic.
Because we don't talk all the time. It's not like
exactly.
we're. Do you feel like that about me, or do you have less sense for what I'm doing?
No, I have a good sense.
No, you do not, because you were like, "How is the Scrabble tournament?" Which I have not completed
let
yet.
me finish. I was going to say I have a good sense when I can see on my story your name is the first one that says whether you've watched it or not.
Yeah,
so I'll be like, oh,
yours
she's
is
checked
mine
in.
too.
She's seen me. She knows what's up. But I don't see that it informs me that you know what I so blah blah blah.
Well, you should watch it. It's great.
I will.
And people kept asking me if I had watched it because I'm the cult lady,
right?
And I had known that the cult existed and stuff, but
wait, is this the one where they have an actor playing?
No.
Okay, no, never mind.
No, this is an Indian cult. Wow, we're doing an Indian episode.
Oh wow.
That moved to Oregon.
Oh,
which, by the way, folks, I now pronounce correctly. On a previous episode, I kept calling it Oregon, and people were like, "Susie,
Oregon.
What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I missed the memo, but I was calling it Oregon. Anyway, they moved to Oregon and set up camp, and it was bonky bonk bonks.
Oh, I can't wait.
And I kind of dragged my feet about watching it because sometimes it feels like I don't know. I get a weird thing where I'm like, I already know everything.
That's how I feel about watching therapist-related stuff. When people are like, oh my God, you have to watch this show. It's all about, I'm like, I know what this is about.
Like the stuff that I'm reading about all the time, then people get real into it. And I'm like, back off. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it was very good. The key to these documentaries is if there was somebody with the foresight to film everything in the 80s or whatever, you got yourself a good show.
Yes, you do. Oh my God, yes, you do.
You can't believe what you're seeing.
So that's what this is? Okay. And you know what? Cults are great for that because they love recording themselves. It's like there's always a narcissist leading the group, and there's nothing a narcissist loves more than being on camera.
Okay, now that you're saying all this, you have to watch it.
Okay.
Because the woman is actually the primary character.
Really?
Even though the leader was technically a man, but she was fascinating, and I want to know what you think of her.
Okay.
So everybody go watch it, and then we'll reconvene and discuss.
Cool.
But it's a 6-parter. It takes a minute.
Oh, okay. There's a new, I think it's the, not Jonestown, Waco. There's a new movie coming out. I think it's a made-for-TV movie. starring an actor that I really like, but don't know the name of right now because it's like that. I'm like that.
It's about Waco.
It's about Waco, and he plays. What's
Is
his
it
name?
Zac Efron playing David Koresh?
No. Wait. No. Because Zac Efron plays.
Handsome, though.
Yeah, it is. It's somebody really handsome, and somebody I'm like, ooh, he's a good actor.
Okay.
I can't remember who it is, but I want to see that.
To see that.
Yeah, I saw him interviewed about it, and he was talking about how he had to try to think of things in the way that, like, you know, when you're a member of the cult, you think that you're doing good, you know, and everybody else looks at you like you're doing bad. So he, as an actor, had to act it from a place of, like, I think I'm doing the right thing, even though everybody... So it was just interesting to hear him talk about...
I have questions about that. I think the members usually feel that way. Mm-hmm. But I'm not convinced about the leaders feeling that this is
morally
great.
Sound or whatever they're doing is like the best thing.
Some of them, but I don't think we can say that overall.
Yeah. What about Andrew Keegan's cult? Is he doing the right thing?
That guy's bonkers. And I will probably edit that out because I would love to interview him.
Yeah, you better edit that out.
But, I mean, that guy, I wonder if the cult's still booming. It's in Venice. We should just drive down or up or whatever it is. Yeah, I still don't know where I am.
You don't.
Can we talk about the weird... No, put a pin in that. We'll talk about something weird, but first I want to talk about how much we love Liquid IV.
Oh, we do.
And
now that I'm working out, woo, buddy.
Liquid IV is saving the day. I am excited about it because when I first started trying it, I thought, well, this is great. And I always feel like my water bottle is like Where's Waldo on my Instagram.
Yeah, because you can see it everywhere.
I have it all the time, so I'm a water person. But this Liquid IV is cool because you add the flavor to your water, but then you get 2 or 3 times hydration from it. It really does the job efficiently. But what's really cool, and I hadn't thought of till later, was that it's so great for moms who you want your kid to drink all the time and they never want to. And we don't buy like juice or pop or anything or for him. And so this is a great way for him to get hydrated.
And the added bonus of flavor.
Yeah, and it tastes good. Yes. So he feels like it's a treat. Yes. But there's not the sugary blah, blah, blah. It's non-GMO, electrolyte drink mix, but it's vegan, free of gluten, dairy, and soy. And it has vitamins in it, including more vitamin C than an orange, and as much potassium as a banana. Come on.
That's bananas.
Doubly cool is they donate 1 serving to people in need for every order placed.
That's great.
And water is a real problem globally where access to water is a problem. But if you're a mom like me, or if you're health conscious and you're going on hikes like Sarah, or if you're going on an airplane, this is great because you can bring the packets with you. Or if you drink a little too much and you want to hydrate the next day. We love Liquid IV. We know you will too. And right now, our listeners get 20% off liquid-iv.com when you use our code BRAIN at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website. Go to liquid-iv.com and enter our promo code BRAIN to get your savings and start getting better hydration. That's liquid-iv.com, promo code BRAIN. Don't wait. Get hydrated today. Okay, I want to talk about the bonkers thing.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Oh, the unintended consequence of how people are doing the Ancestry.com and all those like
What
DNA.
are the unintended consequences? Oh my God, what?
Evidently, a lot of people are finding out that their biological dad isn't their biological dad. Like, they're finding out that their dad isn't related to them.
My God.
Right?
I bet that happens.
I mean, it makes sense, but... So
I know people who didn't know that they were created via a sperm donor. And
this is exactly what I was reading.
Yeah, that's it. And they didn't find out until they were teenagers.
Oh, my God.
And I think it was from something like this. One of them started doing some like...
Right.
And she was like, okay, Mom had to tell him that, well, here's what was happening. You guys didn't come from Dad and didn't come from Mom. That's why you look like nobody.
This was surprising to me because when you do the thing and you find out your DNA, my impression was that you just find out the regions that your genes
that's what I
come
thought
from.
too.
But on Ancestry.com.
It matches you with anybody else who has ever done that. Oh my God,
system.
you're totally right.
And you can opt in.
Okay.
You can opt out of it, so it's not like you are forced to find out or whatever. But people are like, yeah, I want to know who I'm related to.
Of course they do. Shut up. This is crazy.
In one particular instance, it's getting a lot of attention.
Oh, I bet a dad has a bunch of kids.
Yeah, and it's the OBGYN.
No.
Yes.
No.
So when people were having...
No. That is out of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I swear to God, there was an episode that was about that, where it was like a narcissist OBGYN, a fertility guy who was injecting his own sperm into all these women so that he could, like, his narcissist, like, desire to spread his seed and procreate. Dude. This is... Landon and I were just talking about how writers in drama series just have to pull from what's going on in real life now.
Well, right.
Because, like, he watches Homeland, and he's like, it's basically, like, what is happening, right? Like, the stories that are happening in real life are crazier than what's happening on freaking Homeland.
Right. It's crazy.
Oh, my God. You seriously, like, I'm having all the feels right now.
Well, so
this
in
is
this one case...
blowing my mind.
The husband had a low sperm count, and the wife had issues with her uterus, and the doctor was like... Okay.
I gotcha.
Did you want to have an anonymous sperm donor? And the lady was like, yeah, well, here's what we want. This height, this color hair, this whatever. He's like, I got just the guy. But the saddest part, I don't know about the saddest, one of the parts that's problem is he actually wasn't a match. He didn't look like they had requested. So they were kind of like, this is weird.
He's just a narcissist.
Yeah, and he did it to like 50 people or something.
Oh, that should be illegal.
It is.
Okay, good. I'm so glad it's illegal. Well, I don't know what the are there. I feel like in that episode of Law and Order, the rules were a little gray anyway. It kind of was one of those episodes where you're like, leaves you hanging.
No, this was
law but no order.
This was definitely illegal, and he's in big trouble. And they're suing, of course.
Yes.
And how would you like to get those results in?
No.
I mean, and Ancestry.com is just sort of like,
now I'm terrified to do it.
Yeah, right?
I mean, actually, it would
You
probably
look
be
just
exciting
like your parents, though.
if I got news that it wasn't. I would be like, yeah! Freedom!
So crazy. That's a good point. I'd be like, oh, no, great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, whenever these...
Dude, I'm, like, blown away.
Why are you so into this?
Because I think maybe it's because the child stuff was just yesterday for me. Oh. You know, like all the baby stuff that we went through. So like the idea, and when I was pregnant in the first few weeks, I had these, actually all the way up to like week 12, I had these crazy dreams that my husband was not the father of my child.
What?
Like intense dreams where it was like a boyfriend I had from high school.
No!
That like, and like my dream was so intense that like in one dream I went to meet up with him at a juice bar, but the juice bar really exists in my neighborhood. So I woke up and I was like, did I go to a juice bar? Did I really meet up with him?
Me.
Did I cheat on my husband? Is this not his baby? And then I was like, that's crazy. No, it's, but you know, you're brave. But I started having dreams.
So this feels too close to home.
Yeah. So I think that's why it's like, whoa, because obviously my child was my husband. So I mean, in fact, I was complaining at how infrequently we had sex because we only had sex one time during the month of December. That one time I happened to get pregnant.
Right.
So it wasn't even like,
well, he's on the road a lot.
He is on the road a lot. So that is it. That was it. Yep.
Yeah. You're working against the odds.
And our family came and it was the holidays and blah, blah, blah. But you know, that one time worked. But the next week I was complaining about how we never do it. And like, you know, and then I got pregnant on that one time. So I know I didn't cheat on him.
So it wasn't your
So it wasn't my
OBGYN.
OBGYN or, we do it just the right amount. Don't worry.
That is, I mean, it would be terrible to find that out.
Oh God, the worst.
Ew. And like the fact that you're related then to someone who then you despise. Well,
that's,
I mean,
yes.
who is
right.
But I mean, that's really troubling.
Well, and then you just have, because identity is so, we talk about this all the time, how important identity is to us and how like where we came from, the story of who we are and how we came to be is so important to us that if that story was a lie, it would make you...
It would mess you up.
It would mess you up.
It reminds me, though, of a story that I also read about this Chinese guy whose daughter had been kidnapped from him when she was 3. They were at like an outdoor market and she was kidnapped, and he was, of course, devastated. And he knew from, I guess, the circumstances that it was most likely like she was still alive, whether it was trafficking or whatever, however that all works. And so he decided that he was going to drive a taxi so that he would be exposed to more people, could spread the word, and try and find her. And he did. Is basically the story. He kept giving out his these little cards with the whole story, and then he'd say, share it on social media. So people started sharing it on social media. And the girl reached out to him. The question that was not answered in the article was what made her think she was
the one.
Because 3, that's very young to...
There must have been a story somewhere. Like, whoever kidnapped her, let her know enough to know, like, even if they said, like, no, we took you because your dad didn't want you.
True.
Like, I feel like kidnappers could change the story and make it seem... And then this is answering, no, he did want me. Because maybe there was a little bit of hope in her the whole time that somebody was out there looking for her. If she knew that wasn't her family.
Something about her life made her think that it could be her. Wow. And they did a DNA test.
I was just going to say that, Kate.
And then they confirmed. And so they had a reunion. And, of course, we can see pictures of that. And I'll put that in the newsletter.
How old is she?
She's now like 25 or
okay. Oh, my God.
Whatever.
That's so...
But then you wonder, is it like... Because it's not... something you can just jump back into.
No, you can't.
And so that'd be a weird...
Kind of like the movie Room.
Oh, I still haven't seen that. Don't ruin it.
Susie? Okay, I'll watch that other wild
country,
and you watch Room.
Okay.
Susie.
But yours is scary, right?
No, Room?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not scary.
I thought it was like a psychological
No.
thing. Okay. It's just sad.
It's really about what happens to, you know how we have all those stories of people who are women who are kidnapped and like kept underground.
Yeah.
Sometimes boys. Sometimes boys. But this is about one girl what happened to her at 12 and what happens when she goes back.
Yeah, so that's right.
And that's what you want to know. Oh my God, I get chills. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. She won the freaking Academy Award because Brie Larson was so amazing in this.
Yeah, I want to see it, but where do I watch it? That's the problem.
We'll find out. It might be on if computer? It's on HBO, I'll let you use my code.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, but that's a difficult thing. Where,
sometimes I forget we're recording.
Right?
I'm just talking to you like
you would never do that. Because let's say, God forbid, something like that happened to my kid. God forbid. And so, I can't even imagine. And then to get them back, and the mom and dad would feel like, I got my baby back. But the kid would be like, who are you?
Yeah. And then you'd still feel all the love, but it wouldn't be reciprocated by the child in the same way because they don't have those attachment bonds.
Yeah.
Oh, so, that's hard.
I don't know.
Well, that's what this one was like. That's what Room was. You got it. So good. You're blowing my mind with these stories today.
I loved that story, though, because I really admire people who are like on a mission, and that guy was going to find his daughter.
You know who else is on a mission? This sounds like a segue for a commercial, but it's not. But I didn't even know this. You know Ashton Kutcher? He now calls acting his side job. That he founded.
Yeah, he's into the human trafficking mission, right?
And they are good.
Tell me about what he's doing.
So I just watched a little clip that was him, I think he was appearing in front of, he was speaking in front of, I don't know, Congress or something like that. Mm-hmm. And, he was saying that some people say that actors should just stick to their day job and not talk about politics. Well, let me tell you what my day job actually is. Mm. And he talks about how this is this company that I started, and this is what our mission is, and this is what our job is, and this is what our success rate is. And the police and the FBI are coming to us. Because originally, Ashton Kutcher developed apps that were about social connection, and he's using the same... And
it's the same technology.
Did I ever tell you the story where I shared my idea with Ashton Kutcher for a part of the app, and then he used it on the app when I was over at his house one night having dinner? Not having dinner, but after dinner, we like hung out at Ashton Kutcher's house, and I totally like.
That's great.
Yeah, he was having like a meeting, and we were
and
like,
you were like, you know what you should do?
I did. I was like, you know what would actually be smarter?
Sarah-splained.
Yeah, I totally Sarah-splained. I was like, well, it makes more sense if you da 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 da. And then he was like,
awesome.
oh, that's a really good idea. So,
but he uses that
I've been like following
now.
Ashton Kutcher, technology
since
career since I consulted for him. But no, I saw it and I was like, wow. So he's using that. Not what I told him. I told him like some little, like it was like nothing. It's like probably he doesn't use it. It's no big deal. But
well, okay, but and we've talked recently about like the whole baby pregnancy shenanigan, and Mother's Day's coming up. I still want to get you something.
I'm getting myself something.
Yeah, I think you told me that. You're like, I think I deserve that.
I do.
And it got me thinking because we've got to partner with Sherry's Berries, and they're encouraging people to get these for their moms in their life. And I thought this was such a great idea because my kid, his routine, he's 5, okay, so I can forgive. But he and Adam always go to the dollar store and pick out, that's what all those magnets on my fridge are. Like, there are 2 magnets that say Bon Appetit, and they're spelled 2 different ways.
Oh, like, no, I haven't even noticed that.
Like, I just can't with it. So I'm going to encourage them to try this because these are fresh, juicy strawberries dipped in milk, dark, and white chocolate goodness. Come on. That's kind of nice because you're on this diet, but you could it's like fruit.
My treat. Yes.
But,
yes.
And if you get the dark chocolate, then you get the antioxidants.
And I'm all into like relaxing baths, and a relaxing bath, like chocolate dipped strawberries.
That sounds so nice.
Oh.
Yeah. And it shows that you put some thought into it. Your moms will love it. I swear. Just right now, our listeners can send Sherry's Berries starting at $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Or check this out. You can also double the berries for $10 more. Your berries will arrive in Sherry's Berries signature gift box with a beautiful ribbon. No gift wrap required. I'm into that. So hurry and order today. There's only how many days left? Oh my gosh. There's like 4 days.
It can be belated. It's okay.
Okay. Till Mother's Day.
That's the only thing that I'd be okay with belated is chocolate. Yeah, sure. I'll wait as long as you need. Just give me more chocolate.
And Mother's Day is in 14 days. They better hurry. There's only one way to get this amazing deal for mom. Freshly dipped strawberries starting at $19.99 plus shipping and handling. And remember, you can double the berries for $10 more. That's BERRIES.com. Then click on the mic in the upper right corner and enter our code BRAINCANDY. That's berries.com, code BRAINCANDY. I could go for some of those.
Me too. And they're always those really big ones.
I know.
They're so
Gimme.
good. Yes.
Lincoln will eat all mine. That's the only problem.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have kids.
They're nothing but trouble.
I'm just peeking around our room right now. I should do that more often, but man, the art that we got from viewers, well, maybe viewers, listeners, is so cool.
Really cool.
We've got such talented freaking brainiacs.
Whenever I do interviews and it's behind me, people are always like, I like that wall back there.
Yeah, it's all you guys, so there you go.
Yeah, thank you for sending stuff in.
I want to say thanks.
As you can tell, we like getting stuff.
That is it. I think I was just thinking about getting stuff.
You know what? I'll save that for later. I read a thing about Van Gogh.
Oh.
Are you into Van Gogh?
Totally.
What do you like about him?
Okay. There's a lot of stuff. Okay. Well, there was something that I read recently about how, he was able to see the movement of color in a way that's only been able to register by some sort of electronic machine. I can't remember what the details are, but it's almost like the way that his brain malfunctioned in a way that was like really an advantage. Yeah. And it also was linked to mental illness. Sure. And so as he slid into mental illness, he also slid into unlock. Yes. And I love anything like that. So do you know the details of this that I'm talking about?
I know that a gal that I follow on Twitter decided to go to the places that he had painted, and she had taken pictures of those locations, and only when she increased the saturation all the way up,
oh my God, I get chills,
resemble his paintings. Yeah. And that demonstrated how he saw the world in a different way.
An absolutely different way, light. And that you can go back to these places and it's the brush strokes, like the exact where he placed the brushstrokes are what it looks like.
Yeah.
Full goosebumps.
Yeah, she's into it.
Because it just shows that, like, we shouldn't... Oh, yes. This is the perfect music. We should not ignore people who show signs of creative genius, even if they're a little nutty. Because maybe many years from now, we will be buying their paintings for millions of dollars.
That was good.
Didn't his painting go for the most money ever?
Probably.
I think it was Sunflowers.
I did see that. I forget which
it's a
one.
Van Gogh painting. Andy has that look. Remember that same look I was talking about I was talking about it when I went to see the Michelangelo exhibit in New York, and somebody did Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Somebody did a Michelangelo. Whoever it was, Michelangelo. Somebody did a portrait
One of the turtles.
him. One of the turtles. Somebody did a portrait of him, and he had the exact same look in his eye that Van Gogh had in all of his self-portraits. And I was like, that is a real thing. That look is like that riding the line between genius and insanity look. And he does that. And the story about cutting off the ear. It's just so interesting. I just think it's so cool.
There was an article I'll put in the newsletter if you want to sign up on thebrainkittypodcast.com, but it was at the website brainpickings.com, and it was about how he found his purpose. And I thought it was really helpful because it said it was through letters that he was writing to his brother, and his brother was always like, on one hand, he was like, look, Vince, you need to get a job. That was at first what he was like, why are you doing this? You're wasting your time. But then eventually he saw the talent, and then he began to support him and send him money, and he saw the value of what Vincent Van Gogh was trying to do. But they exchanged all these letters, and one of the things that you can glean from it is how he says, you don't need to know your path before starting. Aww. That a lot of people think they can't get moving on something because they don't know what they want to do. Yeah. And his letters showed how, you know what, if you're not sure like where you're going to end up, just keep trying stuff and get moving, because otherwise you'll never get to the part where it's fun and fruitful. And then he also said something that I thought was great. He said, don't mistake your circumstances for your capabilities.
Well, that is a timeless quote if I've ever heard one.
That was
so
paraphrased, but was sort of like, whatever you're going through isn't who you are or what you're capable of. Right. And I was like, we should remember that. Yeah. Because we often do mistake our circumstances for... Do you know how many times, like, when I'm going through a frustration professionally, I start saying, like, in my mind, you're a loser, you know? Yeah. But it's just circumstances. Right. It's not what I am capable of. Right. So I thought that was helpful.
Yes. Oh, God, that is a really good one. You were just, like,
killing it!
Really good info this episode.
I don't know. I mean...
I bet our listeners are really going to like that, too. Because I think a lot of us feel like those moments where... You know, part of us says, like, oh, be so mindful and live in the moment. But if that moment is so heavy and so intense, it can make it feel like there's no future moments. And like, oh, my God, are all future moments going to be like this? And you have to remind yourself that, no, this is just right now.
Yeah. That's hard, though.
Yes, but it's nice to hear things like that.
Although, that's why it's so sad, though, because his ending was so tragic. And I forget what he was saying about the way that he died. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think he meant to actually... It's like, kind of like the Sylvia Plath thing. Because he didn't die right away. He walked, like, to go get help, and he got help after shooting himself. Oh. So...
He changed his mind?
Then he died of infection. So it wasn't like, you know how normally when you would use a gun... Yeah. That's the end of the story. But for him, whatever he did... didn't end him that day, and his brother came to say goodbye and see him or whatever, but then he said even that Vincent was in good spirits.
Oh, God.
And they spoke and everything, but then he got an infection because, like, inside his organs.
How did Sylvia Plath die again?
Well, remember she, like...
I don't remember.
Well, she committed suicide.
Yeah, but what were the circumstances? And why is it, like, mysterious?
Well, remember because she wrote in the bell jar about a character who tried... kill herself, and then it was either that she didn't intend to, she just wanted to, like, and that people thought that's what Sylvia was trying to do, but then it worked.
Oh my God. I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was your book pick. I'm just going by what you guys said in the meeting.
I mean, this is what we were saying in our about how you don't remember what you read in books.
Yeah.
I was so into that book, and I read every single page, and I hosted a book club on it, and I'm like, what happened to her?
Yeah, but that's what was said, that sort of like a lot of people think her intention was not to actually end it all. And so that the Vincent van Gogh thing is so sad, but he struggled with depression and the darkness as well. And he talked about that in the letters too.
There's something else there, though. It's not just, there's some other mental illness. It's either like
For
bipolar
Vincent?
or schizophrenia. There's definitely something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's
talked
not
about
just
that.
depression.
Yeah. I don't know what the
How
diagnosis
old was he when he died?
What was it, like 30 freaking...
Okay. He could have been just starting to get like schizophrenic.
Let me find
because
out.
the fact that he could see things that differently is kind of like something, that's like visual hallucinations, but visual hallucinations like in a good way.
It makes sense, though. I'm surprised there aren't more people who can see the world in that weird way because, like... The sight is so subjective, the way the light goes in your eyeballs. And
but maybe they do. We just don't know. Like, I have a friend named Lori who is an amazingly talented painter, and she's all self-taught. I'll show you one of her pictures. She does really realistic oil paintings of waves, and you can't even tell the difference between her paintings and photograph. All self-taught, and she just sees. I know that she sees things differently. I know it. I think the same about you and a few other guys I dated about music. How you hear it differently. I know it.
I wonder what you hear.
I hear it all together. You hear it, the individual
like
instruments, layered.
Yeah.
And I think she sees the world in layers because she's able to paint every one of those
so
layers.
Lucky.
You're so lucky.
Well, maybe you have that in another
I have
way.
synesthesia, so I get the color and the number thing.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
But it makes me really like to have things. I like to my house is very visually appealing because that one of the side effects of synesthesia is you need things to be visually
a certain way.
Yes, you need balance in like aesthetically pleasing.
Huh?
Yeah.
He was 37. P.S.
Oh yeah,
Vince.
That's.
Anything you want to add before we go?
Oh my God, no! But that was such a good one. I do want to say that there are. I just got my pool. This is like a little aside, but I thought it was kind of funny that I just got my pool redone, and they were doing construction work, and they took everything down, and there are two little birds that every year come and build their nest under the waterfall.
Yeah.
They freaking built that nest back in like 2 days.
Really?
I was like, I should hire these guys to build do the rest of my construction.
Yeah, because you had
They're
some
the best
complaints.
contractors on the job.
That's really
They're getting the job done in 2 days. Bring all their own materials.
lickety split.
Yeah. I got to get them out of there, so I hope.
Oh, really? Because the old waterfall's going down?
No, they built it right underneath the waterfall, and then all their bird stuff and all the stuff from the nest goes right into the water.
Oh, poop?
on the step, and it's not good for my pool.
No, that's gross. Get him out.
Yeah.
Get him out of there.
So I got to do it before they have babies, because then I can't destroy their home. So
what are you going to do? Move the whole nest?
well, I'm gonna have to do a tear down, and they're gonna have to rebuild in another neighborhood. I told them every time they came by, I was like, "Get out, go away, don't build your nest here."
Sarah.
And they still built it.
You should have like a birdhouse that attracts them,
right.
and then
that would be smart.
you know what I mean.
But okay,
you kind of don't want them around,
right. This was Dimitri Martin, who's one of my favorite comedians. One of his jokes, he said that birds, the only animal that build their own home, and the only animal we build a home for are them.
That's really
That's the only animal who builds its own home, and we have the audacity to be like, move over, sit down, bird, I'll take over
That's
from here.
funny.
So they're building their own, but maybe I should just give them like a little side condo for them, like a back house for them to hang out in, so they don't have to like use my pool. Good idea, Suze.
All right,
I'll
people.
get on that.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.